Welcome to today's explainer. If you're constantly dealing with that stiff, concrete-like tension in your neck and upper traps, this is absolutely going to be a game changer for you. We're diving into a fascinating and honestly pretty counterintuitive method from Dr. John Saunders. We're going to break down exactly why you actually need to stop stretching your neck and what highly specific technique you should be using instead to permanently fix that stubborn tension.
Let's think about your daily routine for a second. Your neck feels tight, your traps are screaming, so naturally, you stretch them. And hey, it feels pretty good in the moment, right? But then, an hour later, or the very next morning, that exact same heavy stiffness comes creeping right back. It is incredibly frustrating. You're putting in the work, but nothing gives you lasting relief. Well, what if I told you that the stretching itself is actually part of the reason the tension keeps coming back?
All right, let's get into section 1, the stretching trap.
So, we've all been taught to instinctively stretch out a tight muscle. But the truth is, traditional stretching is acting as nothing more than a temporary band-aid here. Dr. Saunders points out that no matter how much you pull and stretch those muscles, the tension is inevitably going to return. Why? Because you're ignoring a deeply ingrained, flawed physical habit. You're basically treating the symptom, the tight muscle, without addressing the actual disease. And the disease is the underlying movement pattern that's causing the muscle to tighten up in the first place. Until we break that habit, the stretching is, well, pretty much useless.
Which brings us to section 2, the real root cause. Here is the massive aha moment. When most people turn their head to look at something, they're actually turning their shoulders right along with it. They move as this single rigid block. Think of it kind of like Michael Keaton's Batman, where the heavy cowl makes it impossible to turn just his neck, so he has to turn his whole torso. Because of this flawed habit, our bodies constantly compensate. We end up firing our upper back, our traps, and our neck muscles all at once just to execute a simple look to the side. And that continuously overloads those upper traps, leaving you with that rock-hard tension by the end of the day.
In fact, Dr. Saunders bases his entire approach on one core clinical observation he sees every single day in his practice. Your neck has quite literally forgotten how to move independently of your shoulders. Over time, this coupled movement drastically reduces your natural mobility. Your nervous system has basically forgotten how to isolate the neck muscles from the shoulder muscles. So to actually fix the pain, we don't need to stretch the muscle. We need to teach the body how to decouple these movements all over again.
Let's fix it. Section 3, the overhead fix. All right, let's walk through this highly actionable fix together. You can do this standing up or sitting down, doesn't matter. First, I want you to raise your arms straight up over your head, almost like you're physically trying to push the ceiling up. Got it? Next, raise your shoulders up into a really high shrug. Keep pushing that ceiling up, and now, lock those shoulders right there. Hold them tight. Finally, keeping those shoulders firmly locked in place, you're going to slowly rotate your head to one side, and then nice and slow to the other.
Now listen closely, because here is a big warning. Since your body's movement pattern has been wired incorrectly for so long, you are absolutely going to want to cheat on this. As you turn your head, your shoulders might naturally try to drop, or maybe your whole upper body starts rotating with your neck. If you feel those shoulders drop even a little bit, you must stop and start the whole movement over. Lock the shoulders first, hold that ceiling up, and only then move the neck. To really make this neuromuscular retraining stick, you've got to use the right dosage. You're aiming for exactly 8 to 12 repetitions. And remember, the goal here is definitely not speed. It's all about a nice, slow, highly controlled side-to-side movement. Just making totally sure those shoulders stay firmly locked in that upward position the entire time.
But what if you're at the office? Section 4, the desk-friendly alternative.
Okay, so maybe reaching for the ceiling is a bit uncomfortable if you have poor shoulder mobility, or maybe you're just stuck hunched over your laptop all day and don't want to look crazy at your desk. This variation is for you. Just let your hands hang straight down by your sides. Step 1, actively push the floor down. This engages your back and gets your shoulder blades set down first. Step 2, pull your shoulders up as high as you possibly can into a shrug and immediately lock them in that high position. And step 3, just like we did before, simply rotate your head side to side. Keep it nice and relaxed and make absolutely sure you aren't cheating by turning your torso or letting those shoulders fall.
Whether you go with the overhead reach or the desk-friendly variation, the routine is exactly the same. You want to shoot for 1 to 3 sets of those 8 to 12 slow repetitions every day. Or, as Dr. Saunders actually recommends, just keep this empowering little tool right in your back pocket. Simply use it as needed whenever your neck and upper traps start feeling stiff or overloaded.
Finally, Section 5, why this actually works.
So why is this weird little shrug routine so much more effective than your standard stretches?
Well, it's because when you lock your shoulders up and turn your head independently, you're essentially doing three massive things all at once. First, it completely unloads your upper traps. Second, it takes all the physical tension straight out of your first rib. And third, it releases the tension in your neck right at the exact same time. Because you're actively retraining your nervous system to move the neck completely separate from the shoulders, you're going to feel immediate relief. I mean, that chronic tension will literally just seem to melt away, and your range of motion is going to improve on the spot.
So I highly encourage you to test this out for yourself right now. Lock those shoulders in, give it a try, and see how it feels. Which variation actually gave you the most relief? Pushing the ceiling or pushing the floor? Drop your findings down in the comments. I'd love to see what works best for you. Remember, breaking bad physical habits is really the only true way to get back to long-lasting, pain-free movement. Stay well, and we'll see you in the next explainer.